You're doing well. Let me think here. Let me think. Let me get a drink of water. Actually, you know what? Let's not think, because I've had enough thinking for today. Or at least for the moment. I've been doing nothing but school work all day. And then, like, literally, I was finishing up an essay that's due today, like, 10 minutes before stream was supposed to start. That's my excuse for today. That is the excuse of the day. Of why I am late. And since I am late and stuff, I'm just gonna start the stream. Because I have a Zoom class meeting less than an hour after we're supposed to end stream today. And we still have 3 more org fights to get through today, so I'm just gonna hop right over to the game. Because I don't have a ton of time today. Hey Union, how's it going? This. Let me get the music tool open a minute while we're sitting on the title screen. Where did that go? There it is. Let's start the load. Takes a second for it to find the memory card or whatever. Let's send out the Discord pings a sec before I forget again. Okay. Should be good. Okay. Whoops. That was the wrong save file. That's fine. I can just load up the right one in a minute. It looks pretty cool. One sec. Yeah, the Picaro Challenge Battle mod where you fight against Aegis, P3, P4, MC, and Joker. It looks like a good challenge. Maybe we'll try it sometime for a different playthrough or something. That could be fun. Yeah, for the current playthrough, I just wanted to not change the gameplay too much, but yeah, maybe for future playthroughs, we'll do like a challenge playthrough where we could like just do that as like a one-off stream or something at some point. Or like a weekend or whatever where I like prepare and like challenge the Picaro boss fight. Okay. Make sure I got everything closed in the background. But yeah, it seemed like the closest thing I've ever seen to like Persona like PvP, if that makes sense. Let me just do something real quick. I gotta customize abilities real quick. I got a strategy I want to try with Syx today. There's a similar strategy that worked as Sora, so I want to see if I can get it working here. Because, like, my best chance of killing Syx is to get him before he goes into his Berserk mode. Right? Like, that's the best way I can get rid of that guy. Because otherwise he stays in Berserk for, like, the rest of the fight. And I could whittle him down from a distance if he's in Berserk, but that's like a very long-term strategy kind of thing.
Do you feel it? The moon's power. Moon.
Ah, I messed it up. Okay. Okay, new strategy then. Well, I could probably try that strategy again, but I have to die first. Oh, okay. Some of my thoughts on Joker setup on the equipment from LeBlanc front. Equipment front is instead of the LeBlanc accessory, I might opt for the Picker's Crown with insta heal to account for all ailments, but is that enough? Yeah, I think the problem with that though, Union, is that you have to wait for your turn to come around to get the heal on the ailment. And the problem is that the bosses will like combo off of each other in the same turn. So one of them will set up an ailment and then the other one will take advantage of the ailment in like the same turn. So what you'd really need is something that just prevents any ailments, which I think that is a Psyx. We're on Psyx.
No exit. Do you feel it? The moon's no exit. No exit.
Which I think that is an option.
No exit.
Ah, shoot. You can juggle him. What gimmick do we got? We have the gimmick where he goes berserk and stays that way for the rest of the fight. And there's, as far as I know, no way to get him out of it. Your best bet is either to somehow do enough damage to him before he, or like juggle him and hit stun him before he gets into his berserk state, or you have to like deal with his berserk state for the rest of the fight. Yeah, that passive is exclusive to Asura, yeah. So you could do like a build with Asura where you are using him for the most of the fight, but if you ever swap off of him, you know. I'd have to like get around and test it for myself to see if there's something better I can come up with. Obviously, for that video at least, he wasn't using any DLC stuff. So that would obviously, like, that would obviously help. Ah, shoot. Just kill me. Yeah. I'm trying to get him before he goes into his berserk state, because you can kind of like juggle him a little bit so he doesn't, like, he'll just attack you. And then you reflect, attack him again. So that's why I have the negative combo stuff, because the finisher will knock him back and like knock him into the air, so he won't be able to charge up his attack. Ah, didn't work. Okay. Well, I wonder... Yeah, that's the idea. Also, some of his attacks, his own attacks, will, like, decrease the berserk gauge. Or whatever. but only ever to half, and it quickly recharges again. And they remove the reaction command to get him out of Berserk.
Do you feel it? The moon's power.
Yeah, take that. Ha!
Do you feel it? The
Ha! Come on!
no exit. No exit.
Take that. Come on! Come on! Come on! Yeah,
Moon, shine down.
ha! Come on! Ha! Take that.
Ah, okay. But yeah, you could probably do a better setup if you allowed yourself to use the DLC stuff. Which, yeah, you can say or whether or not you think that's a good idea. I mean, they're all using DLC personas, so might as well. I think the fight was definitely designed with the player having access to all the DLC for sure.
Take that.
Do you feel it?
Come on! Come on! Come on! Take that. Come on!
Ah. Did him a good amount of damage that way. I wonder... Okay, here, just kill me. I wonder if just doing the combo spam like this would work. Like, constantly knocking him back.
Do you feel it?
Because, like, at some point his Berserk just starts charging up.
Come on! Take that. Come on!
But I think he has to initiate it, doesn't he?
Come on! Take that. Come on!
I mean, this does a good amount of damage before he can get into his Berserk state. Like, that's half of his health right there. That's not terrible. It was enough to get him to go straight into his DM move.
All shall be lost to you.
Yeah. Well, even he didn't challenge it on solo without the DLC, right? Oh, he did do that. Wait, no, that was the second video. Because I found the first one where he did it with party members, but I didn't watch the second one where he did it without party members. Did he also not allow himself DLC there? Yeah. It's definitely harder than P3's Elizabeth, but that's because there were, like... Elizabeth has, like, consistent rules, right? Like, Elizabeth has, like, predefined rules that were designed to be worked around. That's, like, a mod meant to, like, just be kind of like a anything kind of goes mod. Alright, whatever, just kill me. I have an idea. I think the damage output on, like, ultimate form is enough that if, like, I just go into ultimate form and, like, you just spam combo enders. What were those rules? Can't block any of her attacks, so null, absorb, repels. Gotta do a certain amount of damage within a certain amount of turns. Gotta be able to survive at least 1 or 2 nukes. Oh. What the heck? It crashed because I opened up the pause menu? Okay, game. Alright. That's... Alright, sure, whatever. I mean, it's not like we lost any progress, but it's going to take a minute to reboot the game a minute. Joker versus twins, Lavenza, Margaret, and Elizabeth. You don't have to imagine that union. That's an official battle. That's the that's the battle that you have in Persona Q2, except for that you have Theodore, I think, instead of the twins, because Lavenza's already there. So you just have Theodore, Elizabeth, Margaret, and Lavenza. Okay. So I think this is still the way to go. I wonder if him attacking is also part of the reason why his Berserk... Because I know it's possible to get him out of Berserk. Or, like, I know it's possible to kill him before he goes into Berserk. Let me try and use the, okay, let me redo abilities a minute. But let me try... What's the best Keyblade? The Ultima Weapon. Just generally speaking, the Ultima Weapon is best. There are a couple... Keyblades will have a few niche abilities, which make them better in certain circumstances. But for best stats and everything, usually just the Ultima Weapon. Which makes sense, since it's usually, like, the last weapon you can unlock in the game. And usually requires, like, a couple of different steps to get. So, like, you can see he has 6 strength, 4 magic, which is going to be higher than anything else. And also it has MP Hastaga, which means that your MP recharges a lot faster. So. Okay. So let's just try using,
Do you feel it? The moon's power. Moon, shine down.
Ready? Huh. Come on, take that. Come on. Aha, gotcha. Aha,
Moon, shine down.
take that.
no. Okay. I think it kind of worked. I think, but I did more damage when I just... Okay. So it might be better to go ahead and start with a combo and then go into the dry form. Because if I just go into the dry form, it takes too long for the game to, like,
Do you feel it? The moon's power.
it takes too long for the game to render it.
Do you feel it? The moon's power.
Hmm.
No exit.
Come on.
No exit.
Come on, take that.
No exit.
Take that.
Okay, I think I see. Yeah. Okay, just kill me. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, if I just, hey, Jason, I'm doing all right. Doing okay. Going through that accelerated summer course, which has been a lot of work because it's like 2 weeks of work in 1 week. So we had to read a chapter and write an essay about it in like 1 week instead of it usually being in like, 2 weeks or whatever. I just actually finished up that essay like 10 minutes before stream, so.
No exit. No exit. Do you feel it? No exit.
Okay, I see how this works then. Because when he does, how many data fights we got left? We have this one, and then we have Zemnis and Data Roxas. So, not too many more left. Plan is to get through all 3 of them today, obviously. And then we'll probably start Hollow Knight, I think, right? Won the poll. So we'll start that next week. Next week, Tuesday. Yeah. I mean, the expedited course is kind of nice because it'll be over halfway through next month. Like, it's 7 weeks instead of 14 weeks. So, it'll be over pretty quick, but it's going to be, like, a lot of work.
Power. No exit. No exit. No exit. Do you feel it? No exit. No exit.
Yeah, okay. I think the trick there is if you can get him to attack you, he's not going to start charging up his Berserk gauge. So if you can constantly juggle him into attacking you by getting close to him, because it seems like he doesn't want to try charging up his Berserk gauge unless you're somewhat far enough away from him, at least at the start. Have I ever taken a summer class that covered an entire semester's worth a week in 5 days? 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I tried signing up for one of those, Union, but they wouldn't let me because I had to have, like, permission from the professor themselves to, like, sign up for the class, apparently. Which was not, like, labeled when I tried to sign up for the class. So, I tried, but it did not work out, so. Because that would have been kind of nice, honestly. But this is, like, the first time I've ever had to do summer classes and stuff. And it's only because things didn't work out like I thought they would. So, okay. Okay. I think my best bet was just spamming. Well, if I can juggle him, I can get him all the way. But if I just spam it, I can get half of his health gone before he can go into his Berserk phase. I guess I could also try dealing with the Berserk phase by defending at the right times and, like, kind of whittling him down. But, like, he's pretty tanky. He doesn't have a lot of openings. I don't know. There's, like...
No exit. No exit. No exit. No exit. No exit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my best bet is just to... Okay. Try and get him to half at the start. And then, like, whittle him down from there once he's in his berserk phase.
Get real. Look which one of us is winning.
Because, like... Okay. Alright. So if I can get him to have health before he even goes into his berserk phase, I should be able to, like, whittle him down between blocking at the right times in normal, and then also, using, I think, Bladeless Drive for him is probably the best, because I can use that twice without having to build up more gauge. And then also, it has range combos, so... Oh, he went into his DM right away. Okay. Interesting. I think once he gets out of his DM, he's kind of vulnerable at that point. Like, you could probably knock him out of his berserk phase then, if you did enough damage, but... Oh, I got an error. Ignore, I guess? Seems fine. Oh, nope. Okay, game crashed. Great. Okay. I'm having issues, huh? With this mod. Oh well. I guess they said they hadn't worked on this section yet, so. They said that this, like, post-game stuff hadn't been worked on, so it's kind of like at your own discretion, or, you know, that there would be some bugs or whatever. I wonder if it's a good idea to, like, put, on the Keyblade that has, like, combo finisher or, another negative combo on. We could try that strategy a minute. Would be worth trying at least. See if it does more damage. Okay. Oh, speaking of mods, I thought, oh, it might be kind of nice to, now that I have a big hard drive, it might be nice to install Fallout 4, and then I can just, like, slowly add mods to it over time. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds kind of fun. And then, I went to install it, and I realized, oh, they just put out an update that messes up every single, mod ever. Great. Okay. So I went through that whole process of trying to figure out if I wanted to, like, if I wanted to try and, going back and, like, downloading an older version, or just keeping the current version, but, like, losing out on, like, previous mods. In the end, I was like, you know what? It's not like I have a big mod list that I want to keep going. So I'll probably just... endless combos. Endless combo finishers. I'm just gonna, like, keep up with, like, the current version and just, like, add mods as, like, new things come out for that version of the game, rather than trying to be stuck in, like, a version of the game that was from, like, several years ago. Any of the, like, big mods or, like, good mods will either have fan-made, like, community patches made for them so they work, or they'll, like, get updated by the actual authors, probably. And it's only, like, something where I wanted to have it installed on my hard drive, so, like, every few months or whatever, when I get a hankering to, I can just, like, look up what are some fun new mods, install a couple of them, mess around in a save file that I have already or whatever, and just kind of, like, do that for a while. It's not like I want to constantly be playing Fallout 4 modded all the time, you know? Although I have done that before. I have played a good amount of, well, I say a good amount. I played through Fallout 4 at least 3 times. Once vanilla, mostly vanilla, and twice with mods. It's hard to play Fallout 4 completely vanilla these days. Especially with all the community-made patches making things better and, like, adding in features that should have been in the base game, or, like, making the UI better, helping fix different things. Alright, let's see if this works, or how well this works. Because this should be non-stop finishers. Okay. I did a decent amount of damage. There are some mods for the PS5, but yeah. Like, a lot of the, like, better ones require a PC to, like, work because of how it's structured. Like, you know, the good, really good gun mods and all that stuff. Can I not block that then? No, it doesn't look like I can. Oh shoot, I went in the wrong form. Oh well. Nope, incoming. DM move. I don't know, he's not too hard to avoid with his attacks, because they're so low to the ground and everything, but, like, whittling him out of, like, Berserk, or, like, just killing him while he's in Berserk, is a long process if you don't, like... if you don't have a good strategy for it. Which I don't really... Ah, okay. I thought I still had more than 1 HP there. My bad. Yeah, is it better to go this way, or is there another Keyblade that would work better? Is there, like, a combo finisher, like, bonus I could get? Oh, right. Pausing in here now crashes the game. I forgot. Okay, whatever. I don't know why. But apparently now pausing in that room apparently now crashes the game. Good to know. Well, either way, I think I want to be done messing around with the bosses today. So I think we'll keep trying this guy for another half an hour. But I got to make sure I end on time today. Because I got, like, something I got to be at I gotta end at a good time so I can eat before something I gotta do later today for class at 7 p.m. Jeez. So what was I? So I think we'll keep trying for like another half an hour, and then if we're still not like done with this guy, we'll just move on to Zemnis and Roxas's fight, because those will be more fun. Those are just straight up fights without like any particular gimmick. Okay. So is there a combo finisher like bonus Keyblade? No, not really. Okay.
Take that. Aha, gotcha. Aha, come on.
Do you feel it? The moon's power.
Gotcha. Come on. Come on. Take that. Aha, come on.
Do you feel
Take
it?
that. Aha. Aha, come on. Gotcha. Take that. Aha. Aha. Gotcha. Take that. Take that. Come on. Come on. Gotcha. Come on. Aha. Gotcha. Come on.
All shall be lost to you.
Gotcha. Come on.
All shall be lost to you.
Take that.
Boy, he doesn't slow down for a second, even after his DM move, huh?
All shall be lost to you.
Come on. Come on.
Ah, shoot. I should have not limit break, drive there. I gotta keep a better on my health. But yeah, let's keep trying to do this for a little bit longer and then swap over to some of the other fights. If we're just not getting this one. I'm okay with not getting it done, honestly. I beat this guy before with Sora, so
Take that. Come on. Come on. Take that. Aha.
this is just more for fun than anything else.
Take that. Aha. Take that. Take that. Come on. Gotcha. Gotcha. Take that. Come on. Gotcha. Aha. Take that. Take that. Aha.
Diaxi again? This guy. He's the, like, number 2. He's, Axel's friend from back when they were not nobodies. He's the, like, berserker guy. But it's, like, ironic because he usually is, like, the coldest and, like, most, like, cold demeanor out of all of the, enemies in the game. He also, like, haunts, Thora throughout different points in the game. Oh my gosh, he is spamming that DM move. Okay. What the heck? I don't know. I feel like it's a cool gimmick in his original boss fight, but having him invincible there is kind of annoying. I guess that's true of, like, all the fights, where it's, like, having them be invincible during their DMs is fun, but not when they spam it. You know? Holy cow, dude. Like, look at that. He just immediately goes back into his DM right after he gets out of it. It's not like he's getting... The other thing was, I couldn't find any strategy guides on how to actually beat him. Every single strategy guide on this guy for, like, how to beat him is just cheese him with Sora. Because if you have summons, you can use Peter Pan to, like, juggle him infinitely, so he can't ever go into his Berserk phase. Or you can do it without Peter Pan. Like, there's ways to do it as Sora without Peter Pan as well. So, like, if there is, like, a reaction command or a way to get him out of the Berserk gauge that was supposed to be, like, a thing you could do, I don't even know how, because, like, it's not well documented, because everybody just cheeses this guy. Which is kind of funny, but also kind of annoying for me. Oh, that was dumb. Of me. Yeah, okay. Because I should have used that last bit of MP to heal myself rather than attacking him again there.
Do you feel it? The moon's power.
Get real. Look which one of us is winning.
Move.
Well, at least he doesn't, like, teleport around and stuff. I guess there's that. I don't know. His gimmick isn't as, like, annoying as some others, but, like, it doesn't make for an interesting fight, that's for sure. Because I saw a reaction command there. I don't know, maybe it was just, Wasn't there a reaction command that appeared briefly there? So is there a reaction command to get him out of that... out of Berserk, then? Oh, wait. There was a reaction command there. So I gotta get close to him after his DM move. Okay, hold on. When he's, like, recharging up there, I think there's a command I have to do if I can get close to him. The thing is, you have to, like, memorize how long that DM move lasts. Okay. So there is some actual, like, counterplay you have to do. Alright, let's try this then. Okay, so there's actually... It seems like there's actually a way to get him out of the Berserk once he, is done with his DM. Like, there is some reaction command that keeps popping up for a second. Either by blocking, like, getting close to certain... when he's recharging or after certain attacks. Okay. Alright. Try this a couple more times. It'd be so nice to be able to actually get him out of his Berserk stage, though.
Do you feel it? The moon's power.
But yeah, I think with Peter Pan, he becomes one of the easier enemies to actually beat. It's, like, pretty easy to gimmick him out with a couple of different strategies of Sora, which I think is what I did when I fought him. Which, after seeing this, can you really blame me? Two, three, and then... Oh, come on. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I think I can live without beating him as a Roxas. I think I'll live. What the heck? So apparently, pressing pause here also crashes the game. All right, you know what? I'm gonna boot the game up again. We're just gonna go. We're gonna fight Xemnas. We're gonna fight Roxas. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be cool. They're gonna be fun fights. We won't have to deal with any annoying gimmicks. We just have to actually get good at the fights and beat them. Gosh. So we're just gonna go do that, and that's gonna be great. That's gonna be fun. And then we can move on to something else after this. Gosh. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I think just move on with my life. It's not like I'm gonna get anything super good out of beating him anyway. It's just for funsies. So if it's not fun, might as well just move on to some more of the fun fights. It's not like we can beat all of them anyway, because some of them are just not available with how the mod is set up. So maybe we'll come back. We'll come back like when this game or when this mod gets like a full release and like they've properly balanced this stuff, and then we can like, you know, mess around with that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that'll be for the best. Okay. Was there anything else I want to do a minute? Like anything else I want to change? I think we're good. I shouldn't have to change anything if I'm not doing a specific strategy. So here's the real question. Do we do Xemnas or Data Roxas first? I think let's do Xemnas and then Data Roxas. I think, yeah, we'll just do that order. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Maybe we should have just done this from the start, just done the fun fights, you know? But, whatever.
Get real. Look which one of us is winning.
Shoot. Oops. Oh, right, the guard can hurt you. Yeah. Okay. I think this also has both phases of his fight. So.
Get real. Look which one of us is winning. Ready? Take that.
Desperation move. Honestly, just sit in the combo and wait it out. Okay. So that's first phase done. And I think we go into the second phase, right? Is that... Oh, is there only the first phase? No, I think there is the second phase. Because that would be where Riku is swapped in. Yeah.
Anger and hate are supreme.
Oh, that was the wrong magic. Oops.
We shall go together. We shall go together. Why don't
Ah. Okay. I wonder if it puts me back at the tower fight or the beginning of this fight. Oh, no, wait, right. It puts me outside. Okay, so we have to do the tower fight again. Okay. The tower fight's not too bad. As long as I guard his attacks, I can do pretty well on the counter, so. Okay. Yeah, this is just a fun fight. There's, like, no gimmicks or anything,
Look sharp.
really. There's a couple of moves that are kind of gimmicky, but, like, it's just kind of a fun fight, you know? I should probably reflect go there at the start.
Get real. Look which one of us is winning. Ready? Ready? You asked for it.
Oh, shoot. That's unfortunate. Because I tried to dash out of his, I was, like, pushed up in the corner there, and when I dashed, it broke the once more. Because I was no longer in the combo, so it killed me on the next hit. That's unfortunate. Okay.
Look sharp. Power. I am me. Nobody. Shut up.
Trying to get down to the timing of the, Ah, shoot. That was kind of dumb there. I was trying to get down the timing of his guard. Or his swings of his attacks. The light and dark form is pretty good there, though. It's a lot of fun to fight against him with that form. Both with the combos and the limits and stuff that you can do. So, and also, since it can guard properly, it's a pretty good one for this fight.
Look sharp. Power. I am me. Nobody else. Take that.
Oh, desperation move. Shoot.
Look sharp.
Nope. Okay. Tower showdown time. Got him. Uh-oh. Game? Oh, gosh darn it. So I can't do the third reaction command? What? Okay. Gosh darn it. It crashed again. No! Man. Alright, alright. Yeah, maybe it's for the best that, like, after today we're done with this mod, because it seems like it's been getting more and more unstable as the save files go on, so. Oh well. Yeah. After today, we'll take a break from it. We'll come back to it probably when it's, like, got another big release or something, maybe. We'll see. I don't know, I did have fun with it. It's a fun mod to play, for sure. I think it does a good job adding a lot of depth to the combat system. It does feel a little shoved in there in the Kingdom Hearts system, because, like, the hotkey system doesn't really, like, the way you do magic and stuff doesn't really facilitate having a bunch of different combo buttons, because you can only have, like, 4 different things. It's not too bad. It's not worse than trying to manage, like, Dante's different, like, devil triggers, or, like, sorry, not devil triggers, different styles. And that's basically how I've treated it, where I have, like, 4 different hotkeys. Like, I have it change what square does based off of, like, which direction I press on the D-pad, and that's not too bad, honestly. Like, that's not too far away from, like I said, Dante's style system in, like, DMC 3. So I think it does a pretty good job there. And it definitely opens up a lot of capability. I probably can't fully talk about, like, all the capabilities it opens up, because I'm just not good enough to, like, fully take advantage of all the things it offers. But I can say from, like, just playing through, it's a lot of fun to do a playthrough of the game. And because it's been, like, because it's a mod made for people who have played Kingdom Hearts a ton, like, having so much of the fluff taken out of Kingdom Hearts 2 really helps on repeat playthroughs like this. Like, most, if not all, the cutscenes are skipped, right? Cutscenes you've probably seen, like, so many times before. The new forms are a lot of fun and well implemented. Oops, that was the wrong thing. Oh, that was his DM move. Shoot.
Shut up.
Oh, shoot, his DM move again. Yeah. I think generally I would recommend trying this mod out if you're a fan of like Kingdom Hearts 2, and especially if you like Roxas and you want to try something with a more expanded skill set. I think the way it weaves magic into this system is like really good. Shoot. Yeah, I was just kind of out of resources there. I think it's a pretty good mod, and I think it's only going to get better. I'm very interested to see what else it decides to do, right? But yeah, it's definitely got some like bugs it needs to iron out, and like some random crashes that need to be like play tested and ironed out as well.
Get real. Look which one of us is winning.
I thought I blocked that.
Ready?
that damage taking noise.
Look sharp. Power.
Okay, so this time I'm not going to do the third reaction command because apparently that crashes the game. I'll just do the second one. There's a third one you can do, which I did last time, which does slightly more damage and leaves him more vulnerable. But yeah, it crashed the game last time, so.
Wasn't a fallacy.
Okay. Okay. And now for the second phase again. I wonder if you can use like a dry form recovery thing there when it swaps out the party members.
Supreme.
Get real. Look which one of us is winning.
Oh, it just maxes out my drive gauge again. Okay, that works. which also means I can like use as much drive and magic as I want towards the end there for that fight, which is nice. Oh yeah, the first phase of this fight is not hard. The second phase is like also not super hard, but like it's got some gimmicks to it. It's like very much a final boss where like there's some gimmicks to it, but like as long as you work around the gimmicks, it's not too bad. One thing I wish is that, like, instead of just having the coat for all three forms of Roxas, I wish that Awakened form was visually more distinct than the second form. Like, instead of just pulling the hood down, it like also like added a design to the it also added like a design, like patterns to the like coat, depending on kind of like how Sora's are, where like it adds like different patterns to his clothes depending on the dry form. I don't know. That would probably be a lot of extra work on the mod author's part, but I feel like it would really look good. Ah, shoot.
We shall go together.
I will say, I think overall, I do like KH3's data bosses more than KH2's in terms of like design and variety. I know that may be a bit of a hot take, but I think like as an overall package, I do like KH3's a bit more. Setting aside like nitpicks people have with KH3 and it's like combat and everything. Just conceptually, there's a lot more going on there with the different bosses. There's like way more variety, I think. And some of the boss fights are like more interesting to me. But it's been a minute since I've played KH3's data bosses, so maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe I'll go back and play that at some point as well. There's plenty of mods for that game as well. Some pretty cool stuff there. Since that's the newest one, so.
Look sharp. Take that, come on. Get real. Look which one of us is winning.
Oh, he didn't like that. He did not like that. He did not like that taunt. Okay. That was cheeky of me. Immediately punished. Okay. Hmm.
Ready? Ready? Shut up. Ha! Come on. Gotcha. Gotcha. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ready? Take that.
Ah, he went into his DM again? Fine, I'll do my DM. If we're gonna play like that, I'll play like that.
Come on. Ready? Ha!
Oh, what the heck? Okay. I thought I was still in the combo there. So once more would save me, but I guess not. Okay. I still think Latent Darkness is probably the best way to go for this fight.
Ready? Get real. Look which one of us is winning. Ready? Power. You asked for it. Come on. You asked for it.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. Power. Come on. Power. Come on. You asked for it. Power. Ready? Power.
Guard this. Can't judge a judgment cut, baby. Okay.
Anger and hate are supreme
Yeah, and then Awakened form is pretty good for this fight too. Although I think Light Dark would do decent. Oh, shoot! No! You're kidding me! I taunted and it crashed the game in the middle of the fight. Ah! I thought I had enough distance there. Although, to be fair, I probably would have gotten hit during that taunt, because that taunt is very long in that form. Shoot! Okay. Oh, you know what I should do? Wait, which key is the... Okay, you know what? Let me find the key. Let me figure out where the save state key is. Where's the like save state? We'll just save state like after the first phase, and then I can just repeat the second phase over and over again. F1 and F3. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll just save state next time I get through the first phase, and then that way we can just keep reloading that save state to get to the second phase without having to go through the first phase again. Oh yeah, well they said, like I keep saying, this mod was only meant for an initial playthrough, and even then, like, there are obviously some things that haven't been finished with like a full playthrough, but it was like meant to be like a playable state for the base game, and they mentioned that like all the stuff like post game is not like been messed with at all. So I mean, to be fair, if you have one crash, even if it isn't your fault, the insurance company is going to raise an eyebrow. So I don't know if that metaphor works too well, but I understand what you mean. Whatever. It's not a big deal. It's a mod. And it's warned me ahead of time that doing this kind of stuff would be kind of finicky. But yeah, definitely kind of annoying, but I was warned ahead of time, so. And it's something they can work on in the future. Like, if this is still a problem, like, on, like, final release or whatever, then I would be like, yeah, you probably should have ironed that out before you were, like, done with it, but whatever. I guess it's all work done for free and stuff, so just a passion project, so it's not like it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we paid you X amount of money or whatever, you know. Anyway, but yeah. Okay, so let me just double check. If I hit F1, yeah, okay, so that's saving, and then F3 should be, yeah, okay. So we'll save state once we get through the first phase again.
Look sharp.
Hmm.
Take that. Gotcha. Take that. Power. Ha! Gotcha. Take that.
Oops. Didn't mean to use that elixir again. Kind of fun to see this animation in different outfits like that. Got him. Okay. Save stating there. Hopefully that's a good place to save state. Oh, actually, you know what? There's a better place to save state. On the, like, menu screen there. Yeah, right here. So if I save state here, that's a good place. And then that way I can, like, mess around with stuff if I need to. Like keyblades and stuff.
Are supreme.
Get real. Look which one of us is winning.
We shall go together.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Got hit while I was trying to heal with the elixir. Got most of the way through the animation.
Are
Get
supreme.
real. Look which one of us is winning.
Yeah, it'll help too if it crashes again or something. I think it's fair for this boss since there's 2 phases to it, and I just don't want to keep running through the first phase over and over again. I won't use it for Roxas, I think. I guess like other bosses do have phases, but it's more like this is completely separate from the first phase, you know? It's not like, oh, they got to a certain health threshold. It's like a completely separate fight, pretty much, so.
Why don't
And this will make attempts quicker, because I don't have to, like, walk up to the door and everything. If you're really good there, you can use reflex instead of the
Anger and hate
reversals and get like a bunch of extra damage on him. I've done it before as Sora when doing this fight, the vanilla. But it's been a minute since I've been practicing that much with reflect. I haven't relied on reflect as much as I usually do with Sora, because with base game, like, reflect is like godlike. I mean, it's still pretty good here, but like the improved, it's not as big of a difference because the magic has like extra utility here that doesn't have in the base game, obviously.
why don't you stand here?
Yeah, magnet is also pretty good for farming. So it was a little annoying not to have it here, but since we had those infinitely spawning enemies at certain points, after you beat the base game, that was actually kind of nice. Something I kind of wish that was in the other games, where you have like just like enemies that like constantly spawn at certain areas for farming materials and stuff. Oh, shoot. Okay.
Anger and hate
Yeah, I was at 1 HP, so I missed one of those. And I, died. I wonder if Light and Dark would also be better here. Well, I guess we can try it.
we shall go together.
Oh, let's do it after this, though.
You asked for it.
Why don't you stand here? Why don't you stand here?
You asked for it.
Why don't you stand here? Why don't you stand here?
He's getting down there.
Why don't you stand here?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I was 1 HP when he threw me up in the air. I was gonna go for bladeless to refill my HP and MP, but killed me before I could get to it. Oh well. I think Lane Dark's not terrible, since it can block. And his block is upgraded. Oh shoot. Ha! That was dumb of me. I ran into that.
Anger and hate
Get real.
are
Look
supreme.
which one of us is winning.
We shall go together.
Ah. Vines!
Anger and hate are supreme.
Get real. Look which one of us is winning.
Why don't you stand? Why don't you stand?
You act. Take that. Okay.
Why don't you stand? Why don't you stand? We shall go together.
Take that. Ready?
I think this might be it. Yep.
Take that. Why don't you quit?
Uh-oh. Oops. I think I messed up. Okay. So I think he's supposed to go into his, like, DM where you defend against all the lasers. And I don't think it's happening. I don't know if that's because Riku's not here. And I don't know if that's because I did something which, like, stopped him from doing that properly. Because, like, obviously they've retrofitted the story fight so you don't need Riku. But I don't know... Well, now he's just my personal punching bag. Okay, you know what? You know what? I think I won. I think I won. I won, okay? I think I'm just gonna... Like, unless... I don't know, is there, like, anything I can do to, like... Also, we're out in the void, I think. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Since the walls are invisible in this arena, usually. Like, how far out can I run? No, yeah, we're still in the bounds of the play place.
I am me, nobody else.
Okay. I'm just gonna let myself die here. I won. It's too bad that doesn't say I won, but I'm not gonna... Well, I'll give it one more shot here, but if I, like, die again, I'm just gonna move on to Roxas. Rather than reloading and trying this again. Because it's very clear that something bugged out there. I don't know if that'll always happen or if it was just, like, an unfortunate accident at the end, but... Either way. It is funny how good light and dark form is against this guy, though. Both phases. Okay, whatever. Let's move on to Data Roxas, shall we? That'll be a fun fight. Alright. Alright. Last one. Technically. Last one we'll be doing anyway.
Get real. Which one of us is winning? Take that. Take that. You asked for it. Take that. Take that. Come on.
Ah, shoot. I didn't get it. DM move, okay.
How many times do I have to beat you? Come on.
Funny because we have, like, some of the same combos and stuff. Oh, it got me. Okay. Interestingly enough, that Data Roxas model, at least the design of it, is taken from one of the DS games where you fight against a Data version of Roxas. I think the model might be just completely from the DS version because it looks a little DS quality. Not bad, but like a little bit DS quality.
Get real. Look which one of us is winning. Come on.
Actually, I really like that Data Roxas fight that you do in that DS game. It's very cool, thematically, and like the context it's in, but it would be kind of hard to explain because that game's kind of long and kind of funky with its plot.
You act.
Ah, shoot. Okay. I feel like, okay, maybe light and dark is the way to go there, since light and dark can block. I wish awakened form could also block. It would make sense if it could. Even if it's not the strengthened block that light and dark has, I feel like awakened should be able to block. But whatever.
Look sharp. Take that. Ready? Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. Look sharp. Come on. Take that. Come on. Come on. Take that. Ready? Come on. Come on. I am me. Nobody else. Power. Power.
Got him. Okay. Yeah, that's a fun fight. That's always a fun fight. I feel like it's maybe a little bit easier than I remembered, but it's a fun fight for sure. Maybe it's just because I'm more used to Roxas' combos, having seen them for a full playthrough, so I can kind of predict what they're going to do. But, yeah. Alright. I don't know, do we want to keep trying and see if we can get a win on Zenus that doesn't crash the game or something, or I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to see me do a minute besides Lingering Will? Because like I think that's everything. Besides Lingering Will and I don't know, I guess what what's this guy's name again? Luke Sword. Yeah. I don't know. This is definitely a fun mod. For sure. I think it definitely... I probably am not quite the best person to, like... I don't know, do a full in-depth review of it or anything. Just because, A, I'm not, like, a huge Kingdom Hearts 2 junkie. And I'm not a huge, like, action game junkie. But it was a fun game to play through. I say I'm not an action game junkie. I've played through a good... on a casual level. Lingering Will, you'd be shattered into a million pieces. Yeah, plus I'd rather beat him with Sora first. But yeah. Now I see why I got burnt out so long ago when I tried to do these guys as Sora. Because, yeah. It takes a lot. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I don't know. Maybe if I did it, like, off-stream, so I could just focus on playing the game and, like, getting better and stuff, it would be better. But like trying to do it on stream is definitely a lot to try and do these guys and then also Lingering Will and all that stuff, so. But yeah. I don't know, it's really cool. I really like all the additions it makes. I think it needs some polishing up of the bugs and like it needs to make sure end game stuff works properly. Like some post game stuff, but like they know that already. I'm interested to see where the mod goes. It seems like they want to work in Shion some way. Maybe as like a party member or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's still like a little early to call it. It's not too bad. And I have that thing later today. I could call it here for today. I could. I don't know. But yeah. So I guess Hollow Knight next week? Is that what you... Let me just double check on that poll a minute, I guess, while we're sitting here. But yeah. I don't know. I think it's a very good mod. I like a lot what it does with magic and how it expands magic. But like... There are definitely some, like, I don't know, unintended side effects. I feel like some of the, like, post-game stuff isn't quite as, good as it usually is. Which, yeah, you know. But maybe, you know, maybe it, like, yeah. I don't know. How about this? Would I rather play this version of the game than base KH2? I think so. On, like, a replay thing, I think this one was a more fun playthrough. I think partially that's due to the fact that it skips through like a lot of the busy work, which is really cool, that it skips through like a lot of like the cutscenes and like other things that are just like busy work and that you've done like a ton of times, right? I don't know. I think KH2 is a pretty good game on its own, and this is a fun way to replay it. That's for sure. So I'd recommend giving it a try if you're interested. It doesn't take like really any setup work at all. You just like have to get your own clean ROM of base KH2. You just patch it, and then you run it in the emulator with the settings that they provide. So it's not too hard to get up and going as far as like mods and stuff go. Trust me, I've been like messing around trying to get Fallout 4 mods working for like the last 2 days. It's definitely easier to do this than that, especially right now. But yeah, it looks like Hollow Knight won with 63% of the votes. Star Wars and Kingdom Hearts 3 were kind of tied with 19% each. So, yeah. I guess that'll be fun. I haven't played like a Metroidvania in a while. I think the last Metroidvania I played were the Metroid games for Game Boy Advance. So that should be a different type of pain. Especially if I try and go for like all the post-game bosses and stuff. Because I know there's like a lot of like hard bosses you can go for in that game, I think, right? It's got like some good post-game stuff and some pretty hard boss fights. Some pretty cool boss fights, some pretty hard ones. I don't know. I thought it'd be fun to like throw something different on the poll. See if you guys were interested in watching something like that. So I don't know. I do think that maybe I should be focusing around like 1 or 2 series maybe. But like, maybe we'll do that next year. Because I think what I want to do next year is kind of tighten it up even more with the action game stuff and like start focusing on one game series at a time and like get really good at it. So I want to go through like all the Bayonetta games again and do the like unlockable fights against the shopkeeper. And then I also like want to go through DMC and maybe play through some of the games on DMD mode. Just play through them, you know. See if I can actually beat them or whatever. Stuff like that. I want to get at least decently good at the games. I don't know. For me, it's really hard to focus on one series in particular. Even though that's technically what I should be doing with YouTube stuff. But, I don't know. I guess if I was to focus on, like, one series, it would probably be something like Kingdom Hearts. Which wouldn't be terrible. But I don't know. Just because, like, it appeals to me. Like, it's a casual enough action game for the most part. And it has like some RPG elements that I really find interesting, and I grew up with it. I've played, like I said, I've played pretty much all the Kingdom Hearts games to completion. So true. There's very few Kingdom Hearts games I have not played to completion. In fact, there's only 1.5. I say 1.5 because Kingdom Hearts be Kingdom Hearts. But it's Birth by Sleep and 1.5, or like no, it's 2.8. Kingdom Hearts 2.8. 2.8 final chapter prologue or whatever. It was like a tech demo / prologue to Kingdom Hearts 3 that came out with the collection that came out before Kingdom Hearts 3. Kind of like a, like I said, a tech demo of like what the combat was going to be like with one of the characters. And that actually slots out pretty well because Birth by Sleep is like right before that. The only thing is like, I would play Birth by Sleep on stream, but it's kind of long because you have to go through 3 different characters, storylines, each being about 20 hours long. And B, Birth by Sleep's combat isn't that great. Also, if I play it on stream, I have to worry about copyright music. So maybe I'll just play it off stream at some point. I don't know. I think, like, as time goes on, I'll maybe hone in and, like, on a couple series here. Like, Persona and Atlas and stuff, and then, like, maybe one action game series like Kingdom Hearts and stuff. And, DMC and stuff. The more, like, niche I get, I can, like, I don't know, get better at the games and, like, provide better content, I think? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Sorry, I'm getting rambly again. I'm just, like, padding for time. Or not padding for time. I'm just, like, kind of rambling because I don't know what else to do. But yeah.
Come on! Come on!
I guess one thing I can say is like playing this really makes me wish that like Roxas had a playable game that was not on the DS, or that the DS game got a port to like something that wasn't a DS. I kind of hope that with a lot of DS games these days. I really hope that like in a couple years here we'll get like the wave of nostalgia for the DS, and like companies will capitalize on that by remaking some of their better DS games, because there's like a lot of good DS RPGs and everything that are still stuck on that system. I know it's like one of those things where porting that is like a little bit harder than porting other systems like the GBA or whatever, which only have like one screen, but I really hope that they do end up doing that at some point. Like, there are a lot of good DS games. I should play some DS games on stream. You know what? I would be more likely to play, like, some of the Kingdom Hearts, like, DS and 3DS games. I've never actually played the console version of the 3DS game. That one made it over to the collections on consoles and stuff. So, I don't know. And that one's kind of interesting, gameplay-wise. It's a real mess in terms of balancing, but it's kind of fun. I don't know. I mean, I'm the kind of like weirdo who likes the card game one, Chain of Memories, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll focus more on Kingdom Hearts stuff sometime next year or whatever. The DS game I heard good things about was Kid Icarus. It'd be nice if we got a current gen console port like Switch. Yeah, that was on the 3DS, but yeah, there's a decent chance it gets a port. Especially if they want to try and see if there's still interest in that series, so they can make like a sequel or whatever. I could see them like doing a port of the game, and then like if that goes well, they'll like greenlight a sequel to that game with a similar style or something like that. Because like it could definitely use a port, because playing it on like physical hardware is a bit of a pain, literally, because you have to hold the stylus to aim, and you have to like use one of the you have to use the left like circle pad to move around, I think. So like it kind of cramps up your hand after a while. On emulator, I think you can remap the aiming to like a second input, so that actually works out pretty well. So it cleans up fairly well on like emulator, but yeah, for sure it like could use a port to like more modern systems, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's one game I'll play in the future, but I don't know. I have been thinking that like it would be. I've also been thinking about playing Pokemon recently, but I'll probably do that like off stream for now. I don't know. I did think about playing like a Pokemon Nuzlocke or something on stream, but I don't know if you guys be super into that or whatever. Because, like, summertime makes me think of Pokemon and, like, playing the Pokemon games as, like, a kid and stuff. Like, I have a lot of good memories of playing the games around this time of year. I don't know. Stuff like, I don't know, just kind of like lazing around with my DS, playing like Pokemon Platinum or whatever at my grandma's house, and like I can remember the smell of my grandma's house, and like, you know, I can remember playing like the game and stuff. It's just like very nostalgic for me. I don't know. I honestly don't know if you gave me the option to go back now, I don't know if I would. Well, okay. If I had to lose all of my memories, I probably wouldn't go back, but if I could go back and redo things, well, even then, I don't know if I would. Because, like, if I had to redo things, I would literally be, like, planning out, like, okay, I gotta make sure I do this thing at this, like, around this time of year, so I meet this person, you know? Like, I'd have to, like, redo stuff so I could, like, meet people again. And I don't know if I could, like, do that. I mean, I don't know.
You asked for it.
I also I used to have like literal nightmares. I don't know, nightmares. I had a reoccurring nightmare, like a little for the first for the last couple years of high school and a little bit after finishing high school, where I had to redo everything from middle school upwards, and it was a reoccurring dream slash nightmare. So I literally would think in the dream, oh no, not again. Gosh darn it. I already did this like how many times? Yeah. Yeah, we could do... Probably what I'll do is I'll just throw it on the poll. Because, like, once we get through P5R Pixie, we'll have, like, probably about a month to about half a month or so before, what was that? I think Vengeance, right? Vengeance comes out later this summer? I think that's right. That or the DLC for, Reload. It might be Reload DLC. Well, we'll have some time before whatever the next Atlas release is, so we'll probably, like, do 1 or 2 games that are not Atlas games, and I'll just put them up on a poll and we can vote on them. Sorry, I'm just keeping my hands busy while I talk. Don't mind all the action on... Well, I guess... Yeah. I know. I have thought it would be... yeah, whatever. I have thought it would be nice to, like, play something more casual on weekdays. I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to have a game to just kind of, like, have in the background, and it is more chill. And stuff. I've tried that before with, in this kind of, like, later in the day kind of time slot. I've tried like a more chill game, and if it's the right one, it works out pretty well. Like I remember doing Viva Pinata back in the day, like pretty consistently, like 3 days a week, later at night, and it actually did pretty well. It was not bad. I think I got up to like 5 or 6 people, which I know is not that much, but like for me it was like quite a bit on Twitch at the time, consistently, like with Viva Pinata. Partially, I think, because it's a well-legged game, and there just isn't anybody streaming it. But yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm thinking of Vengeance. Yeah. So we'll have some time before Vengeance comes out, after we get done with P5R Pixie. So we'll put out a poll then. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Probably put Arceus up there. Something else that I thought would be fun, too, is, I think I have Scarlet. I could play Scarlet unpatched, so I get the, like, launch experience, and we could laugh at all the bugs and how bad it is. I don't know. I think that would be funny. I think it would be funny to, like, be like, oh my gosh. I don't know. It is funny to see, like, all these YouTube videos of all these, like, ex-Pokemon fans who, like, have had, like, the same exact experience that I have. Like, it's just one after another. I don't know if it's because I like Pokemon, so, like, YouTube recommends that stuff to me. But I feel like I keep coming across it where I'll find, like, the, like, ex-Pokemon fan video where it's like, I really loved Pokemon as a child. I loved it a lot. Fell off around the 3DS to early Switch era. And it's like all these guys, it's like everybody's had like the same experience, whether they're like 10 years older than me or like a few years older than me or a few years younger than me. Like everybody kind of fell off around the like 3DS to like early Switch, like right around Sword and Shield or a little bit earlier than that. And it's like, I wonder, like, because at that point it's like, okay, it's not just the games, like whatever is going on with that, it's not like, it's not just the fans, right? Like it's like all these people having the same exact experience, so there's something to it. And I think what it is there's a couple different things. One is people just get older, That's undeniable. I think the other thing is that starting with the 3DS era, they made the transition over to 3D graphics, and it cost them a lot more dev time than making the 2D graphics, which they were really good at making at that point, did. And so it like slowed down the process of making a game. And I think, I'm not sure, it probably varies a little bit, but I think they have slightly less time than they used to for getting out the games. And there was also like an amount of disappointment with the Switch and 3DS releases. Like the 3DS releases, people were hoping to see like what Pokemon could do on more powerful hardware. The switch to 3D over 2D was had a mixed reception. Some people really liked the 3D, really wanted it to look good in 3D, and some people were like really nostalgic for the 2D graphics. I personally really like good pixel art, so I liked the 2D graphics more. I think that 3D can look fine. I think there's plenty of examples of 3D monster collectors looking pretty good. I don't think Pokemon is one of them, unfortunately. I think some of the Digimon games look pretty good. I think the like Dragon Quest game on Switch is a good example of like a lot of different monsters looking good and having fun animations. I think it can totally be done. I guess, what's that game that came out recently? Palworld? Yeah, Palworld has, it has decent animations. The, like, models are, like, they're all right. But, like, that's, like, an indie dev team where the monsters are some of the focus, but not the entire focus, like Pokemon. Like, they're one element of the game instead of, like, the main... they're kind of the main focus, right? Like, they're one of the main components, right? So... they're kind of like on the same level as Personas, where it's like they are very important to the game, but like they're not necessarily the only mechanic, where Pokemon are pretty much the main focus and like kind of the only method of like battling, and everything revolves around them in those games. And then the other thing I think is just like a lack of quality with releases on the 3DS going forwards. So the first 3DS release was X and Y, and the story in that one was really bad. The gameplay, like, the second to last gym leader, I think, has 3 Pokemon. Like, the gameplay is, like, really easy. Like, very dumb easy. And, like, the story was not great. The routes were very linear, but that can be fine for Pokemon as long as they're paced well. The world itself was pretty good, and like a lot of the Pokemon designs were all right. They also added in Fairy type, which is kind of here. It's kind of, here or there. It's like, I guess Dragon types were too strong, but I don't know. It's whatever. It's kind of interesting. The gimmick for that generation was Mega Evolution, which is fine. It was pretty good. I think it's the best gimmick, personally. I liked it the most out of any gimmick that's come out since. And I think you can see that people generally liked it as well, since that's, like, out of all the gimmicks that Pokemon has done, the one that people always backport into, like, ROM hacks and stuff is Mega Evolution. It's not Dynamax, Like, that's the one that people seem to have latched onto as liking the most so far. I think. So, like, X and Y was all right. As, like, a first 3D game, it wasn't terrible. On the new hardware, it was not terrible. Then there was the Ruby and Sapphire remake, which was all right. It was okay. It was good, overall. I don't have a ton of nostalgia for that gen, so, but, like, for people who do have a ton of nostalgia for those games, I think it was pretty good. And then the last big 3DS games were Sun and Moon, which those were kind of a disaster, because, like, they basically released, like, a 0.8 versions of the game and then released like a full version of the game like a year or two later, where like it was actually the full game, and it wasn't like, oh, this is, you know, the third one, this is like the revamped one with like extra stuff. It was like, no, here's the finished ones. Like, it made it very obvious. And like, people were also, some people were starting to get real tired of the like 2 versions stick, because it's very clearly there just to drive up sales at this point. Like, it was always partially to drive up sales, but at least in the past it was partially so that you could like have the interactivity of trading with other people, you know? But yeah, whatever. But yeah, Sun and Moon were like really mid. They weren't bad. But they weren't good. They were just kind of mid. And then the first Pokemon Switch game is Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. Let's Go and Eevee and Pikachu are fine, but they're meant for children. They're meant for children and people who play Pokemon Go without like, to like try and get them into the series. Which, as like the first Pokemon, I don't know. I guess it's not a first mainline game. It's like a side game, right? I guess. But like, as the first Pokemon game on the Switch with like turn-based battling and everything, people were hoping for more than a kid's game. And then Sword and Shield comes out, and that's a mess. And then Violet and Scarlet come out, and that's a mess. And also with Sword and Shield, they lied about like the Pokemon and like why they didn't include all of them. Like, it's not even the fact that they chose not to include all the Pokemon. It's the fact that they lied about it. Like, that's what really gets people, I think. And then the game wasn't even good. So, again, it's just, like, game after game where it's just, like, a steady decline in quality. And also, like, the game's not being necessarily super bad, just kind of meh, which is honestly the worst thing a game can be. Like, people were having fun with Scarlet and Violet on release, not because the games were, like, good, but because there were so many bugs, and it made for a funny, like, screenshot or, like, a funny clip on YouTube or something, right? Like, that's the fun that people were having with that game when it first came out. So, I don't know. Sorry, I'm rambling about a completely different game series at this point, but yeah. I think just like over time, the games have become not necessarily horrible, but like very bland and kind of meh, which is the worst thing a game can be. The worst thing a game can be is not a 2. The worst thing a game, 2 or a 1, the worst thing a game can be is a 3 or a 4. Or sometimes even a 5. Because that means it's not, because a 1 or a 2 is Superman 64. Everybody knows that Superman 64 is terrible. Everybody knows about Superman 64 and how bad that game was, even though it came out on the Nintendo 64 and most people have never played it. People know about the 10 out of 10 games. They know about the 1 and 2 games. But nobody, like, there's like a bunch of 3 or 4 games that like nobody ever talks about because it's not worth playing to laugh at and it's not worth playing to have fun with. It's like the worst thing a piece of media can be is just kind of bleh. And I think that's kind of where Pokemon's gotten to. Oh! Anyway. I guess I could have just said that.
Why don't you quit?
Anyway. I don't know. Is that interesting? Maybe, maybe not. Kind of, I don't know. It was interesting for me to piece out that, because I've never pieced that out myself. Like, sat down and thought about, like, why exactly so many people have, like, drifted away from the series. Because I've been thinking about it a little bit, because I have, and stuff. But there's, like, a lot of cool, like, Pokemon fan games and stuff, like Pokemon Fusion, and there's a Pokemon roguelike that just runs in your browser that's really good. that's come out recently and has gotten super popular. In fact, the other day, it went down because a couple popular like YouTube/streamers played it, and like, the servers went down because they were just so popular. So the person had to get some new servers in. A minute. Having played Legends and Brilliant Diamond on Switch, I'd personally rate them higher than a 3 or 4. I put them closer to 7.5 to an 8. I would... So, okay. I think that Legends is probably going to be a 7 or an 8. I think you're right there. But the problem with Legends is that Legends is not a mainline game. Legends is a spin-off game. And, like, Pokemon's had good spin-off games before. And, like, that's fine. But, like, it's not a mainline game. It's kind of like Strikers, I think, for the series, right? Where, like, Strikers is a good game, but it's not a mainline game. Like, if every Persona game going forward was Strikers, it would be a different series. As for, like, Brilliant Diamond... Gosh. So, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are remakes of DS games. And the DS games themselves are definitely a 7 or an 8. So it's hard to say there. Because, like, yeah. I think the thing that bugs people a lot about those remakes is the wasted potential. Because that's one of the most popular generations. That was the generation I played the most. Like, that... the Pokemon Platinum, so the revision, you know, like they have 1, 2, and then 3, so Ruby, Sapphire, and then Emerald, Pearl, Diamond, and then Platinum, and so I played Platinum a lot, and I also own Pearl, I think, or Diamond. I own one of the original ones too, but people's biggest problems with that game are the art style. And the fact that there are so many bugs left in from the base game. Like, there are bugs that were in the DS version that were ported straight over to the Switch version. And also, like, graphics, like, art style are, like, kind of subjective. But overall, they look pretty bad, in my opinion. They're kind of the worst of both because they're not the 2D art style expanded like something like Octo Traveler or the remake of, what is it, Legend of Mana. Like, it's not 2.5D and it's not 3D. Well, it is 3D, but it's like not full 3D. It's like these little chibis squashed down to the size of 2D sprites. And 2D sprites work because they imply detail, and 3D models work because they are detailed. These 3D models were not detailed. I don't know. It looks fine. I think like, a very similar art style was used for the remake of Link's Awakening on the Switch, and that looks pretty good, but I don't think it worked for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And again, it's like, there's so many things that were added in Pokemon Platinum or fixed in Pokemon Platinum, like bugs and stuff, that they just didn't bother to fix. It was like a very rushed job that was contracted out to a third party. And again, it's just playing on people's nostalgia, you know, getting them to buy a game again. Oh, I don't know. It is what it is, you know. But, yeah. I don't know. As time goes on, I see more and more of the series I like, be ruined by outside forces or just people moving on, or... I can't think of a single game series that I like that has had more than 2 games that had a good ending. Like, that didn't get, like, revived and necromanced to, like, be something else. Like, there are good one-off games that I enjoy, but there's not like a series where there's like 1, 2, 3, and that's just done that I like. Because like there's Halo, and then it got like revived and had a bunch of games after like the initial trilogy and stuff, right? There's the Command and Conquer series, which had good games, and then they got acquired by the license got acquired by EA, and they had a couple of good games with EA, and then it went into the ground there. And then Pokemon has been like ruined. Pokemon's games have been ruined in the name of keeping profitability, because like the biggest thing I think for the Pokemon games is time. If they had time to work on the stuff, I think it would be better. Also, burnout. Some of the people who have been working at Game Freak for a while have been working on nothing but Pokemon for the last, what? Let's see, it's 2024. 30 years? We're getting to 30 years, right? 30 years plus for Pokemon? Because it started in the 1990s? So if they've been there for, like, even since the start, like, since the start of the 2000s, 20 years or so, you know, nothing but one game series. Yeah, I'd be kind of like tapped out on new ideas. I'll admit I would be tapped out on ideas, but yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I guess I'll just keep playing the fun stuff. If Kingdom Hearts goes off a cliff, well, at least people will be able to mod the like PC games and the games that came to PC and stuff, and I'll be able to play those or whatever. There's lots of mods for Halo and Command and Conquer series. I'm enjoying some new series now. You know, I've been enjoying the SMT Persona stuff. I only got into that like a few years ago, so I'll keep playing that for a while, and there's plenty of other Atlas games to enjoy. I don't know. It's sad to see... I think what it comes down to is it's sad to see something I like, you know, run into the ground. I think that's happened a lot with a lot of franchises that were good. SpongeBob, you know, like a lot of good TV shows have had this happen where they just kind of get run into the ground as well. The Simpsons. Because, like, once there's money, it's hard to, like, for people to let something go. Star Wars, the Marvel movies. But yeah, I think it's just accepting that like the thing you enjoyed is still there and you can go back and play it, and maybe you can like, I don't know, in the case of video games, mod it, or to like have a new experience, or with like movies and stuff, you can share it with a friend and like enjoy it with them, you know? I don't know. I think you can still go back and enjoy stuff, but I guess there's so many good things coming out still. Like, I don't know. There's always more and more stuff you could play, watch, do, read. I think it's kind of a fool's errand to get hung up over one or two things. By that I mean it's fine to like one or two series. Like if you just like playing Call of Duty and like maybe one other series or whatever, and that's like all you like to do, that's fine. I just mean like, I think it's a waste of time to cling to something that is technically no longer there, you know? Like, if I don't find the new Pokemon games fun, maybe I'll play through them once just to say I played through them and see if I enjoy them or not. But other than that, like, if it's not fun, then, you know, why play it? So, there's too little time on this earth to be worrying about stuff like that, you know? I don't know. As I get older and older, I have the shockingly the same take as like so many other people who have gotten older, that there's not enough time in this world to be worrying about dumb stuff. You know, there's just not enough time in a person's lifetime, no matter how long they live, to be worrying about some things. Or some things are just not worth worrying about. In fact, worrying can shorten your lifespan. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, all right, let me round up my thoughts about this mod, and then I think we'll call it a day. And then I guess we'll start Hollow Knight next Tuesday. That'll be fun. That'll be interesting. I think that's a game, like, I know very little about. Like, I haven't played a game that I know so little about since probably starting the DMC series. But yeah. Anyway. I think the mod has had a lot of work done with it. I really like all the new form changes. I think I really like all of the convenience and like time saving things that they've implemented, like auto skipping cutscenes. I think taking out Atlantica and putting in like an actual world with like stuff to do in it is cool, and it's cool that they ported it over. I think the main issue with this mod is just polish. There's a few areas and like common bugs that need to get polished and ironed out before like it's like finished. I feel like the main ones being making sure all the post-game content is available. So like all the Data 13 boss fights are available, because they were stuck in the story in certain places in replacement of some of the Disney bosses. That meant that they were not available to fight again later. So you couldn't get like some of the accessories that you would unlock for beating them, some of the upgrades that you would get for beating them, like extra accessory slots or whatever. And you also couldn't fight the Data 13 or Data 13 organization fights version of them, the Data fights version of them. So there's some like ironing out and like post-game stuff that like needs to be ironed out a little bit. I think Roxas's toolkit is fine for the most part. I think that the amount of damage he does is probably pretty good if you're playing level 1 critical. I definitely think this mod is for the uber nerds who are either deep in the sauce when it comes to action games in general, or Kingdom Hearts 2. I think as a casual, if you wanted to play through it on normal or proud, I think you would have a pretty good time just kind of breezing through the main game. If you just wanted to experience playing as Roxas, you know? A game like this really makes me wish that 358 over 2 days, Roxas's game, got a full remake to get it off the DS, but we'll see if that ever happens. Yeah. Overall, it's a really good time. I would generally recommend it for like a basic playthrough at this point. I think it needs more ironing out in terms of the post-game stuff. Before I would recommend going for like all the data bosses and everything, and like the lingering will fight. But to be fair, I'm not sure how many people would actually go for that stuff anyway. Most people don't when they play the base game, let alone when they play a mod. But I think anybody who's going to play a mod is probably going to be good enough where they kind of want to go for the extra bosses. So I would hold off on the extra bosses until that stuff gets ironed out, though. But I think if you just want to get in, do a quick like playthrough, because without all the cutscenes and like with skipping stuff, you could probably, I think I did beat this in like 20 hours, which is relatively short. It's about 1/3 of how long the game usually is. I think it was somewhere around 20 hours. And that's with streaming, so you could probably beat this in 15 to 18 hours if you were like just blitzing through it. And you knew where you were gonna go. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think if you're wondering how much it feels like DMC, I would say that it feels most like DMC 3 with how the style meter works. which strengthens your combos at S rank and above. And also with like switching different and Roxas feels like a kind of an interesting combination between Virgil and Dante, where with Dante it feels kind of like him because by using the hotkeys you can swap between different command menus, which kind of feels like style switching in a way. At least that's the way I ended up setting up things, which worked out pretty well, I think, overall. Because then I was able to just change what Square did, you know? Kind of like how it works with DMC3 Dante. I think also DMC4 Dante. I think that's also how that works, where it changes what is like Square does. But anyway, it's been a minute since I played DMC4. And then with Virgil, it kind of feels like that with some of the drive forms. With like the Judgment Cut on Light and Dark, or like the dash attack on Light and Dark. Like Light and Dark and Awakened Form especially have like a lot of stuff that feels like very Virgil, but it's still very much like how Roxas plays in like the section where you play as Roxas in Cage 3, and then also some of his like moves that he gets in 358 over 2 days. But yeah, I really like it. I really like Roxas. He's my favorite character in the series, so being able to play as him in Cage 2 is a lot of fun. I really want to try this again once it's like ironed out all the stuff about the post-game stuff and like added some new content, maybe fixed up some of the lag spikes. Like there's a couple big lag spikes when you go into the world that replaces Atlantica, and when you do that boss fight on the tower against that one guy, like there's some huge lag spikes there. Even playing off stream, like it lags a lot there. So I think maybe trying to fix that stuff, like just bug fixes, trying to iron out the post-game stuff, I think it'll be a really, really fun experience. And I think it is already, but I think it'll be one of the Cage 2 mods once it gets that stuff ironed out. So yeah. Anyway, that's what my thoughts are on the mod. Generally would recommend it. Link is in the description if you're interested in it. I have talked for about half an hour straight, and I have to go eat something before a Zoom call and do more homework because it's due tonight at midnight. So I'm gonna go do that. I'll see you guys hopefully this weekend for P5R Pixie. We've got the Hawaii trip and stuff coming up, so that's fun. And yeah, I think also we're gonna try and do Reaper this weekend. Don't quote me on that, but I think I want to start working towards it. So I'll think about that more tomorrow, because tomorrow I'll probably spend some time just getting ready for stream and everything, since I'll finally be done with homework for the week. But anyway, yeah, I will hopefully see you guys this weekend. If I don't see you guys this weekend, maybe I will see you next week for Hollow Knight. It should be fun. I've heard good things about the game. But yeah, I will hopefully see you later. But in case I don't see you, hope you guys have a good afternoon, good evening, good night. Thanks for hanging out, Union. Jeppo. I think Lucas was here earlier. Anybody watching back on the VOD or lurking? Hope you guys all have a good one. And yeah, I will see you soon.